Are you comfortable making a prediction of what the record will be at the end of the
Man,
season?
it's going to be tough because you look at that Ohio State game and you're like, man, I think so many people are giving them a loss right out of the gate. And I agree with Pete when he said, you can't let one of those teams that is a C sneak up and bite you. You got to take care of business, and you got to hammer those teams. So, is it out of the question that Notre Dame can make the college football playoff? No, because they play some power. And even if you lose to Ohio State, and Ohio State goes and runs the table, that obviously turns out to be a great loss for you, but you have to win the rest of your games, which I think they can do. So how about this? I'll go out on a limb and I'll say 11-1.
Oh my God, that is so confident.
Yeah.
I was going to give a much worse prediction. That way I can kind of like emotionally hedge.
Right.
Like I feel like Notre Dame, I wouldn't be surprised if they lost like a stinker to like BYU
Right.
in Vegas or like, North Carolina or even Navy or so. I don't think they'll lose to Navy. I think those days are
let's
over.
hope
Navy's.
not, yeah.
Or, Boston College at the end of the season, like in the cold,
Right.
senior night. I'm so afraid of going back to the Brian Kelly days of starting off the season really on a high note and then things falling apart halfway through. But I hope that doesn't happen, Mike. I just don't think I'm as confident as you.
If you're looking at the DraftKings Sportbook on Notre Dame, I know where I'm going. I may actually throw a couple of bucks on the last one I'm going to tell you about, but their over-under is 8.5 wins. Wins.
I would go with the over because I think if you're saying 11-1, Pete Sampson said 10-2. I'm gonna just say 9-3 and pick the lower end of that. So that's still over 8.5. So that's interesting.
Yeah, it's minus 150 for over 8.5. Under 8.5 is plus 130 to make the playoffs. They're at plus 1,000 to make the playoffs. I think that's worth a couple of shekels.